Hi, Paul Bedford here from Retention Guru, and in this short clip, I am in discussion with Erin Phelan from Fitness Industry Canada. We do a session every year where I talk about the industry, updates in research and so on. And we were talking about rewards, we were talking about community, and we'd also been talking about how you build an exerciser's identity because that reinforces or strengthens their behaviours. And I'm talking about how you can do that through a rewards program. Here I'm talking about coffee shops. It could be anything. If you've got any questions or comments, please put them in the box down below. Alternatively, you can email me at paul@retentionguru.co.uk and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. For now, enjoy the clip and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye.
That is so fantastic. And I was actually thinking one of the big things that we're seeing in terms of community is and for gym owners is collaborating with other businesses in your area, right? That you could take that reward factor and not only increase your possible membership for people who might be going to that coffee shop down the street, but reinforcing that identity. And then all of a sudden they're going to the coffee shop, maybe, thinking outside of the box creatively.
Yeah, and look, and I'm thinking this off the top of my head as you're describing it, if you did one of those, and for me, they're rewards programs. I know some people call them loyalty. I don't think it's loyalty. I think it's reward. But the stamp type cards. But you had your club had a particular stamp card for a particular coffee shop. When they hand the stamp card over, the person in the coffee shop knows that they come from the club. The person in the coffee shop can say, "Oh, you've been working out. How's your workout been going?" Then they get recognized as being someone who works out. They're an exerciser. So you can work collaboratively. And what you will find, and you see this in more premium clubs who have, the ability to do food and beverage and things. After about 6 months, if you introduce someone into having a coffee when they finish their workout, after 6 months, that becomes part of the normal visit. It's the type of thing that Barry's Bootcamp built in with have your protein shake ready for when you finished, so that your workout was $35 and there was another $15 for a protein shake, and they were maximizing your spend per visit. We've seen it happen over time that people's spend per visit goes up automatically once they get beyond the 6-month period. Because they start getting into the habit of, I always grab a sandwich, I always grab a bagel, I always grab a drink, I always get a protein shake. So that becomes part of their routine. That builds their identity.
And what about March? What else? What can we do by March?
March, I'd be focusing on the things that might get in the way coming up. So, depending on country, and countries have different religious holidays, but you've got something like Easter coming up. It could be in March, it could be in April, who knows every year. But it's, okay, you've got this far so far. What's the plan if you get disrupted over the Easter break? Are you going to travel to see family? Are you going to take time off? If you're going to take time off, when's the first day you're coming back after? So not, we'll see you after the break. Tell me the day and the time you're coming in. Almost make them make an appointment for their return visit. And then I'd be saying to them, and when you come in, tell me what you did. I'd love to hear what you did over the Easter holidays. Because Easter can be the first big hiccup for a lot of people. They then missed a week. If depending on how their vacation time works, they might have missed a week. And then it's like, is it really worth going back? There's things I've got to catch up on. I always joke that when you go on vacation for a week, you come back to 2 weeks worth of emails. Somehow you got more emails in that week. So now you've got to catch up on all the things you didn't do. Now, this is when exercise starts to slip, because the bit of time you had for exercise is now replaced with other things you've got to catch up on. And so this is why same day and time becomes really, really strong in terms of predicting retention and exercise adherence, because that period gets protected.